Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Hope you had a great coffee break. Okay, let's go. So, a little introduction. My name is Shai. I lead research for our AI products at Monday.com. My background is in clinical psychology. I trained as a therapist, meaning I think a lot about how people interact with new technologies, and I talk about feelings, so you can expect it for today. I actually want to start with a little pop quiz for all of you. And my question for you is, how do you want users to feel when using what you built or what you designed? Option A, this feature is awesome. Option B, this product is awesome. And option C, this company is awesome. Take a moment. Who says A? Anyone? A? This feature? No one? Okay, interesting. Option B, this product? Okay. What about C, this company? Okay, so I think B was the winner here. Actually, I'm sorry, this was a bit of a trick question. The answer is actually D, I am awesome. Okay? It is not about us, not about our company, not about our features. This is only about the user and how he feels. And this is inspired by a great book by Kathy Sierra. And the reason I'm saying this now is because trust can feel like something really vague. But for today, I think it's helpful to think about it as that feeling that I hope we are all familiar with. That feeling that, we use something and we feel like we are awesome, we got it. Okay, maybe it gave us this new superpower. So keep that in mind for today. So today I'm going to share my journey working together with the AI team at Monday.com, how we went about understanding, measuring, and then building for trust in AI features. We have a short talk today, so I'm going to quickly touch each one of these. So starting with the why. Why did we even start this journey? For that, let me first introduce Monday.com. For those who aren't familiar, Monday.com is a work management platform, meaning it's a platform that helps teams and companies organize and manage all of their work in one place and collaborate on it. Let's take a more specific example. Does anyone here have feedback forms for their product or a feedback option for the product they're working on? Okay, we have a few. I will say for Monday, we have a ton of them everywhere. We love getting feedback from users. So with Monday, you can manage your feedback form process. You can get all the feedbacks to one place. You can categorize them into different types. For example, maybe I want to categorize what's a bug and then assign someone from R&D. Maybe I want to label what's a feature request and tag my product manager. We can all kind of iterate and give comments on it. We can add files. We can also choose really nice colors like I did here. And this is basically what it looks like. So the journey I want to talk about today starts around 2 years ago with a super exciting launch. We launched our AI features for the first time. These were features that were meant to assist people with the more repetitive parts of their work so they can focus on what matters most. Just as an example, instead of me manually going over all of the feedbacks and labeling them, AI can do it for me. It can go over them and take the sentiment, let us know if it's a positive or negative feedback. It can translate it, because maybe I have some colleagues from Poland and I want to collaborate with them, and I want them to understand it. Okay, this was such an exciting launch for us. The technology was powerful, and we really believed that this is something that would be super valuable for our users. And once it was out, the numbers looked great. Our metrics looked great. We thought we nailed it. People were interacting with it. We were celebrating. And like we do with our big launches, we started interviewing users. We wanted to understand what is this amazing experience we're seeing in our data. When we started interviewing them, yes, we heard them really excited about AI and how it can help them. But then we started hearing this quote again and again and again in different variations. I'm not sure what it's going to do, and I'm scared of breaking things. So I opened a sandbox where I go to try things, and I don't care if something breaks. Okay? They were building fake environments, test environments, and working in there. Meaning all that data we saw, that wasn't real use. That was sandbox use. Okay, you can imagine building this amazing sports car, but then people only driving it in a parking. They weren't using it for real work. Do you feel like they were feeling awesome in this moment? This one is not a trick. They definitely were not feeling awesome. They were hesitant. They were nervous. Okay? They weren't sure what the AI is going to do. They didn't want to make a mistake. And honestly, I get them. This technology is so new. It behaves differently everywhere. Okay? It wasn't that they're against the features. It wasn't that they don't find them valuable. They were just being careful. But in that moment, they weren't feeling confident. They weren't feeling in control. They definitely were not feeling awesome. This is not what we wanted them to feel when interacting with our AI features. We understood that, yes, we created a powerful capability, but we missed a super important emotional layer. And that's when it hit us. We created amazing features with a lot of potential, but it's not only about what the features can do. It's about people feeling confident, comfortable, awesome when using them. And if they don't feel that way, they will not use it. Okay? And with something so critical for adoption, we can't just stand around hoping that they'll feel more comfortable at some point. We have to be active about earning that trust. But why is trust such a big thing for AI? Even in this conference, I think we have maybe 4 talks mentioning trust in AI. Why haven't we been hearing about this before? With most software, it was simple. We click a button, we know it's going to happen. AI is a different ballgame. This is the first time that technology makes decision for us. Technology sometimes really acts for us. Also, it's really hard to predict. Most of us don't understand how we get from an input to an output. I think we're all already familiar with hallucinations, meaning it straight out lies to us, but still looks really good and credible. And also, it's non-deterministic in nature, meaning that we can ask the same question multiple times and get a different answer every time. To add to that, the tech changes weekly. So even if we think we know what to expect, next week it's going to be totally different. It's really hard to build confidence that way. So at this point, it was clear this is critical for adoption. It was also becoming clear that this is a complex problem space and something we need to better understand in order to really solve for it and earn it. But here's the challenge. How do we measure something so dynamic? As researchers, of course, we love it when our stakeholders come and they say, well, just go and ask them if they trust it. But obviously, it's not that simple. It's not a yes or no. Trust is made out of so many different elements, and if we really want to understand it, we have to take that into consideration in our methodology. So we needed a way to understand this messy, moving target. After a lot of thought, we layered these 3 methods. Each give us a different piece of the puzzle. Let's talk a little bit about each one of them. The first one, I'm blocking you, I'm going to move here. The first one, ongoing interviews. We wanted to get a really deep understanding of the mental models around our AI features. What are people expecting? What are the rules that they made in their mind? What are they concerned about? For that, we conducted contextual inquiries, meaning we asked our users to show us how they use our AI features. We observed, and we asked follow-up questions. Now, why is this important? Because a lot of the trust signals are so subtle. You know, these hesitations, these double checkings. People don't necessarily notice that they do this, and even if they do notice, they probably won't tell us about it when we ask them, because it feels so small, it doesn't feel important enough to let us know. But when we observe, we can notice these uncomfortable moments and follow up and ask. So here are a few follow-up examples that really helped us kind of find out the gap between the hype and the excitement and the actual usage and blockers. After you got the results, what did you do with them? Did you try to check if they were a good fit? How? And, a very important one, are you currently using this as part of your work process? What happened a lot is we were in an interview, a user went on and on about how excited they are about these features, how it's going to change their entire work process. But when we got to asking, okay, great, what are you actually using this for? He would say, oh, actually not yet. And this is the goal. This is what we want to dive into and understand. So the interviews got us a deep understanding, but they lacked the scale, and we couldn't really see how this shifts and changes over time. So we added a second layer of in-context survey. This gave us the scale, and more than the scale, it allowed us to see things from the user's point of view. So not us assuming about their trust level, but letting them really rate how they feel in the experience. It was really important for us to have the survey in context, where they're actually using our AI features, to get their vivid reactions and not to get this high-level kind of summary that we would probably get if we send an email a week later when they're busy doing something else. But here, we have another challenge. People come to our product to get work done. They definitely don't come to answer surveys. So we had to prioritize and select 2 elements of trust that would give us some kind of signal. What we ended up choosing is, number 1, reliability, if the features provide reliable results usually. Number 2, control. Do users feel like they have enough control? And our third choice was an open question to ask them to explain why they rated our AI features this way, and this gives us nuance. Also, it gives us a glimpse into their terminology. But surveys, like every other methodology, have bias. Maybe people want to present themselves a certain way, like they're tech savvy. Maybe they just had a really bad response from the AI, and it colored their entire experience. So we still needed another layer, and here we wanted to see what people actually do, because we know that what people say they do isn't necessarily what they actually do. And for this, we added usage data. We wanted to get signal on patterns of behaviors across a lot of people. For this, I worked very closely with our data analyst to identify behaviors in our product that could be a signal, a proxy of trust. For example, rates of people accepting what the AI offered, deleting it, editing it, giving us thumbs up or down, or tying it into a bigger workflow. Okay, but here, again, this can't stand on its own, right? Because these are proxies. They don't actually equivalent to trust. Let's take an example. Editing. Okay, someone could edit a result because he doesn't trust it. It wasn't good enough for him. Or maybe it's just being careful about engaging with AI. So we still need the other layers in order to make sense of this. But once we had all the 3 layers, we could triangulate, connect all the dots together, and get a more holistic understanding of what was going on. So now we have all this information. We went through the methodology, and we identified places where our users were not feeling awesome, and we were not where we wanted to be. Now, we started building for it intentionally, meaning working on things that don't add new tech, don't add new capabilities. They are meant to help users build trust and earn that trust. Let's see a few examples. So, I don't know if you remember, for like 10 minutes ago, we started by talking about users being very curious. They wanted to try, they wanted to see what the AI does, but they were also worried they didn't know what it was going to do. They didn't want to break things, they didn't want to hurt their work, so they created these sandboxes or testing environments where they could try things out, explore, learn what to expect. And this part of the process was super important for them, and they also spent a lot of time doing it. Now, some product people might hear about this and say, we don't want to support that, right? This hurts adoption. Let's get them in the product. Let's give them value where it matters. But because we were so focused on trust, we realized this isn't a problem to fix. This is an opportunity. We can meet them where they are, but help them do that testing, help them gain that trust that they need, and hopefully do that with less work, because we don't want them to go and put all that effort into building those fake environments. So what we did is we added a preview. We added this low-risk way to try before you apply. I'm going to move to this slide now. OK, so basically, this opens up, this shows you your actual work, but in a preview environment. In this example is our feedback process from before. So it shows me, I had the AI do the labeling for me, the categorizing for me. It shows me what it would do, how it would look like for each one of my feedbacks. I get to see if it makes sense to me. I get to edit the labels. I get to add instructions. And all of this iteration is happening in a way that does not hurt my work at all. I'm not taking any risk here. And I will say that this doesn't only help me understand what to expect and build trust, but it also gives me control, or what we call human in the loop, right? AI doesn't run and do things without me. I have to be part of it. I verify, I check, I accept when I'm ready. Another thing we heard a lot and was a big insight from our research was that users needed to understand why they were getting a specific result. Okay? Didn't matter if the result looked good, it looked bad, they wanted to know why. And they weren't asking us for this algorithmic explanation. They wanted something simple that would help them feel more comfortable with the results that they're getting. Here, we added a transparent explanation. Basically, we were trying to answer the question, why this answer? Okay? So users can understand and verify. Here, we just applied our labeling for our feedback forms, and when we hover over each one of these options, we can see a straightforward explanation right where we were working, telling us why was this the answer. So in this example, we had a feedback asking us to add filtering options that we didn't have. So we can say AI is telling me, well, they were asking for a feature to filter, so I categorized it as a feature request rather than a bug. Here as well, it allows me to verify and still keeps me in control and part of the loop. I can see if it makes sense to me. If not, I can just change it. I'm part of this process. And of course, what we chose is a solution that works for our product, but we can see a lot of different approaches to opening this black box or helping people understand why they got a certain result. So 2 examples from ChatGPT, OpenAI. We can see the one on the left I asked for the best places to go for a weekend trip from Krakow, and we see it didn't only give me the results, it gave me the specific links that I can click and go to verify to make sure that I'm not driving 2 hours to a place that was totally made up. Another example, also from ChatGPT, we can see that when I asked for a calculation, it didn't just give me the answer I was looking for, it walked me through the whole math of it. Again, so I know if I should rely on it or if it made it totally up. So these changes in our products and many more were meant to empower our users and make them feel awesome and capable with our AI features. But that's not the only thing that changed. I think that one of the most amazing things that changed was our team culture for the AI team. Once trust went from something really fluffy and vague to something that we can measure and track, it really rallied the whole team around it. So our AI team actually took trust as a metric, one of their core metrics for the team, meaning they're all actively working on improving this as a metric. They're doing this through dedicated initiatives, okay? Working on initiatives that are meant to build trust and allow for trust, not adding capabilities or tech. And very exciting for me, this became a shared conversation with everyone in the team. So it's not me walking around talking about feelings again. This is everyone in every decision-making point, which is, I think, super unique for AI teams that are usually very focused on the tech. Okay, so this was a very long journey. We're still basically in it even today, that we have a lot more features, a lot more capabilities. But I chose 4 takeaways that I feel were super strong, and I would give each one of you if you're going to go on a similar journey. First of all, trust is a must-have for real adoption. If we don't have it, we're going to stay in the, oh, this is cool, hype level, and nothing else. Number 2, trust doesn't just happen. We have to build for it. We have to earn it actively. It's an ongoing journey. It's not something static. And the most important, it's not just about the tech. It's not just about what it can do. It's all about making our users feel awesome.